Hi Scorpio, how are we today? Just doing a singles love reading today. I will be using the Paper Oracle Lenormand. I do also have the Rainas do Fogo Fire Queens Lenormand and the Island Time Wellness Oracle deck as well. Now, before I get started, I'll just let you know as well that if you do leave a comment, I will be offering a free personal reading to somebody when we do hit 100 subscribers. So make sure you comment and obviously be a subscriber to the channel so you can be updated when that is drawn as well. But getting straight into it there for you today, Scorpio. Firstly, we're going to look at Scorpio's current energy when it comes to love and romance. Just a general past, present, future for you there, Scorpio. Not wanting to focus too much on the past, but I do sort of want to focus more on the future and what's coming in for you. But I do find that layout works really well for these singles reads. So, sometimes we do see quite a lot of things from the past affecting our present and our future as well. Okay, so in your current energy, we do have the letter and the garden. So the letter is all about communication. So that's like, in that mode at the moment where we are sort of maybe talking to quite a lot of people because the garden card there is, the social card as well. So we might be talking quite a lot to people at the moment, text messages, calls, in person, letters, any type of communication online as well, So definitely heavy communication in your energy at the moment. So even if you're not actually, talking to a lot of people, that's something that, now probably is a really good time for you to be talking to a lot of people. And with the garden social element there, it's also a great time to be sort of getting out there and meeting new people as well. So definitely seeing in your energy that you are sort of open to talk and communicate with people, probably new people as well. Otherwise, this could just be your friends group, that sort of a thing as well. Because the garden really does talk about, social spaces like, places to meet people, going out and just enjoying yourself in a like a lovely area, but with that more public sort of vibe to it as well. So, back in the day, a garden was where we had our whole social lives. People would go to the public gardens, and that would be the place to have dates and whatnot as well, meet up with friends and those sorts of things. So that's pretty much the vibe we're in at the moment, is sort of looking to meet new people, I feel, for you, Scorpio. Um, Now, in the past, there we do see the moon. So the moon can talk quite a lot about intuition, sensitivity, as well as emotions. Okay, so we might have had quite a lot of emotions in the past that are sort of leading us to seek new connections at the moment. I will get a few clarifiers on that there for you. Okay, so clarifying the moon in the past energy for Scorpio. Okay, so yeah, we have the book and the sun. Okay, so seeing the moon and the sun together as well, it does sort of talk about there may have been some things revealed to you that made you quite emotional or stirred up those emotions. So there might have been some things that sort of came out of nowhere, things that sort of came to light, without being prepared for those sort of things coming to light, and that sort of has set off a bit of emotion within you in the past. So I do get the feeling that that might be talking about, somebody who was a large part of your story in the past, because the book really is about, your story, and new chapters in the story as well. It does have quite a bit of a new, the unknown element to it. So I'm really feeling that there was something that was previously unknown to you that was revealed about something in the past that did sort of bring you into a bit of an emotional state. And like I said, though, we are looking at the past with these particular cards. So this is probably something that's already happened, that did sort of get you into a bit of an emotional state in the past. And I feel that, the past is important to look at because how we deal with these things in the past always do have a bearing on how we will deal with things in the future as well. So I'm feeling a little bit of fear there, actually, that this sort of same thing might happen again in the future. So that's where that emotional element is sort of coming into play. That whole you can't judge a book by its cover. There's always things to be revealed about somebody that you might not be aware of from the word. When you look at the cover of the story, it hides quite a lot of secrets within the pages that could lead to a bit of emotional distress, those sorts of things, but also being quite sensitive, to things that um, you know, haven't yet happened as well. So I'm feeling a bit of that energy coming through with that as well. So I feel that, yeah, maybe I feel too that there might have been, the moon can talk about intuition as well. So there might have been a moment in the past for you where you actually stopped and you looked back on the past and you went, oh, why didn't I follow my intuition? So I just feel that that might be something for you to keep in mind, that follow those gut hunches about people. If you feel that something's not quite right, it's been revealed to you in the past that maybe it's not. So really needing to make sure we do follow our intuition as well. So to avoid that sort of drama, because they're in the present, we are seeing the mice card, so it does really feel like that's kind of nibbling away at you a little bit. Those emotions from the past are still sort of chewing away in the back of your mind a little bit at the present. So even though you are completely ready to get out there and start communicating with new people and meeting people and talking things through with people, we do have this in the back of our head that, we might have suffered a bit of loss in the past. And that's sort of eating away at us a little bit there. So we like I said, always follow your intuition. It doesn't very rarely steers you wrong. It's only when free will comes into play that it can sort of screw with our intuition on certain things. Um, Not to put any ideas in anyone's head or anything like that. But in the future energy there, we do have the house. So the house can talk about a few things, but I feel that for you guys, it's actually talking about coming into a period of sort of stability and security. The house is quite a secure place. Home is where the heart is, that type of thing. So really heading into a period of security and stability when it comes to love connections. So so I feel that this actually might be talking about somebody in particular headed your way. So we'll get some extra clarity on that house card there. It also can have a bit of a physical impact as well. So like most of us have a house that we um, either own or rent or whatever, a significant, even if you don't, there's usually a significant house, like the family home that you grew up in. Those sorts of things might be relevant when it comes to future connections for you as well. So, things like going to garage sales, that's very random, I know. And I don't know if you guys call them yard sales in America, right? But we call them garage sales here in Australia. So those sorts of things, like, such an odd message, but that might be somewhere where you meet somebody important if you do go to those sorts of things, or like events at houses, or like a party at somebody's house or something like that. It may actually be important, the physical house element, when it comes to that sort of a thing as well. We might be meeting somebody at a friend's house or something like that. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, I feel that that's definitely going to be the case for at least one of you out there, that really just zinged in my brain just then. Okay, so we'll ask for a bit of clarity for Scorpio with the house energy, please. Okay, so Scorpio, what we're sort of talking about with that house energy is, yeah, definitely balance, because we've got the scales and the clouds here. So, this safety and security that we're headed into is really talking about, balancing out ourselves and balancing out that whatever's happened in the past, balancing that out with, the need to progress in the future and clear our thoughts and keep our thoughts balanced and more positive. The clouds does talk about a bit of confusion, so balancing all that confusion out. It's obviously talks about thoughts the most, so it is sort of the thoughts going on in your head there. So really striving for that sense of security, whether that be with somebody or just for yourself. Really wanting to balance that out, especially when it comes to the thoughts going through your head at this time or in the near future there. Really focusing on balancing out those thoughts. So every time you think something negative about yourself or the situation, make sure you are balancing it out with looking at the positive side of things as well. There's an important statement with the clouds card there would be that every cloud has a silver lining. So making sure we're looking for that silver lining in order to balance things out. Yeah, definitely for you guys there. Now, we also are seeing a bit of a person kind of element coming on through as well. Now, we are seeing the snake card coming through for you there. Now, the snake card actually talks about physical connections. It can talk quite a lot about physical, like temptation and desire and ambition. So, so you're sort of wanting to meet someone who really sort of sets you alight on a more physical connection, I feel. So there very possibly is a more physical, temptation-based connection coming in for you in the near future there. So, we all do know though that, what was it, a Medusa and just looking too long at her would turn a man to stone or whatever. So, watching we're not taking the temptation too far and doing anything, unsafe or anything like that. But it really does have that element of desire and doing things that you want to do just because you want to do them, So sometimes we do need to sort of um, let our temptations run wild a little bit, let our desire run wild a little bit. So that definitely could be talking about a more physical connection coming on in for you in the near future. But obviously, if and like I said, we've got that security, but it's sort of more feeling like that's for you yourself, that balance and security coming on in. So maybe realizing that, maybe just this physical connection might be what you need. It might not necessarily be what you want at this current point, but it may be what you actually need at the moment, just to sort of help you remember those positive things and help you have a bit of confidence getting out there and communicating and just being around people and whatnot, letting those thoughts that have been niggling away at you sort of fade off into the distance. But I will ask more specifically about that snake card there. Can you tell us about that snake card? Is that a specific person, please? Okay, so yeah, that definitely is somebody coming on in for you with that woman popping out there. So the woman doesn't necessarily mean it will be a female popping in for you. Obviously, if you are one of the people that is attracted to females, it may definitely be a female coming in for you. But with the female, it does talk, definitely a person. So definitely a person, human coming in there. But it may be, it could even be somebody who is a little bit more feminine in their energy, whether they are female or male or otherwise, that definitely a bit more in the feminine energy. They might have quite a few, lovely traits and things like that that do sort of incline you to notice those feminine type things about that person rather than they're just a big, strong, macho man type person, so you do find, I don't like to really genderize the male and female within the cards. So we are really talking about that feminine energy. But as you can see, quite a bit of fire and passion coming in with them as well. So, like I said, that physical element might be what you need or are actually looking for at this current time. But I will just draw a few more cards for you today, Scorpio. Scorpio, the next important connection Scorpio needs to know about, please. Okay, so we are seeing the bear, the book, once again. Obviously, that was in our past energy as well, and the tree there as well. So I really feel that that's talking about, protecting yourself and your past and your growth. Okay, so no matter what's sort of happening for you in the near future, still being aware that you need to stand in your own power. Whatever this book energy in the past was, you have the power to write your own story. So make sure you're writing it how you want to write it. And the tree does talk heavily about self growth and that knowledge within yourself, that wisdom within yourself. So I really feel that that's actually talking to you about this next connection might help you stand in your own power and have that inner strength. I'm really feeling inner strength with the tree and the bear there. And yeah, just remembering that you are the writer of your own story. So you're allowed to have whatever boundaries you need to. You're allowed to be defensive of things, of things repeating themselves in the past. Like I was saying, with that moon and sun energy, that I was feeling a little bit of fearful that you're going to be having things coming out of nowhere in the future. So you are allowed to be a little bit defensive and protective of yourself, because you're not wanting to repeat the same chapters all over again. You're wanting to grow as a person and grow loving relationships rather than this fear coming on through from the past. So I feel that that's actually talking about, the next important connection for you may actually be with yourself, and learning that you are allowed to be a little bit defensive and stand in your own power and write your own story. It doesn't have to, be inflicted upon you per se. No one is writing it but yourself. Okay, so I feel like that might just be for a few people out there in particular. Um, but I will grab a couple of oracle for you as well. And of course, if it doesn't resonate, flip if need be. Also check your other placements if it's not resonating. See what I say in those videos, and it might resonate a little bit more for you there. With the way that I read, I do find people's moon signs do connect quite strongly as well as the sun signs. So that might be a placement you want to check out. Okay, so Scorpio, what does Scorpio need to know when it comes to love and love connections, please? Okay, so we have the Cupid's arrow there, and that card says, "Have faith, love is coming." Surprise invitation or meeting, as well as hesitation. Okay, so straight away going back to the garden card there, like I said, a surprise invitation or meeting. So, if you are invited to a house party or a yard sale or whatever, something at somebody's house, I would be taking that invitation. You may meet somebody who might be important for you there. But yeah, surprise meetings, so getting out there. You're in the right energy to be getting out there at the moment. So definitely have some good things headed your way. Just reminding you, to have faith that even if this snake person isn't, a long-term thing, even if it is just a physical thing, that doesn't mean that love is not coming, because it definitely is. So what a lovely card to end on for you there. Just, have faith, love is coming. So beautiful. Thank you for your time today, Scorpio, and I hope to see you again soon.